Alright guys, a lot of stuff happened yesterday, but again the biggest thing, Patriots had not pulled off an 11-point fourth quarter comeback since 2023. And
yes, I did mention that because the Falcons freaking beat the Cardinals. What the hell are you guys doing, bro? Why aren't you guys losing games? Let's go play the day. There's actually a couple this time, so yeah, let's get this thing going.
Gainwell. Rodgers off his back foot, throws it down the way, and a flank's coming out on Anzalone. And look at Gainwell, the football.
Jim, I'm pretty sure you said earlier, who's got the best hands on this team?
34. Gainwell.
Set. He loads up to launch. Down the sideline. Coverage and incomplete. Kobe Bryant on the coverage of
Terrell, you're going to get a lot of targets. Watch this catch by Wilson, and lack thereof. You can see the ball come out before they even hit the ground. The question is, the ball hit the ground before it bounces onto Michael Wilson's chest. I think this is a catch. I think that's a touchdown.
It looked like it rang.
Almost tripped. Expose him! Expose him!
DK Metcalf had mixing it up with someone in the stands. Oh, gosh. And that, not going to have great consequences.
South table is up for grabs. Tampa Bay and Carolina. Close their ball.
Placement didn't work out. But Horkez just stay in the game. Got to pick up a first. Down the middle, tip, incomplete. The Steelers make the play. Oh, the flag comes out. Back over to Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra's got a blocker out in front. Amon-Ra to the 20. Being pushed from behind. And he's down to the 10-yard line as we have...
Looking like cover 9. Take a look as everyone comes running up on the outside inside.
Goff. Looking. Back.
Oh shit, not good.
Incomplete. Can they pull it off with the season in the balance? Goff fires at the 1. He didn't get it, but there are flags down. Ball ends up in the hand. Goff. He goes across.
A major call.
Ruling on the field is a touchdown, however. On the offense. By rule, that penalty is not enforced and there is no replay. The game is over. There is no touchdown.
Carl Shepard said the ruling was touchdown. We knew the time had expired. You see the OPI by St. Brown there.
JB, it's a muggy, beautiful 80-degree day here in South Florida. Much warmer playing conditions for both of these two teams with the frigidness.
Bring 4, Burrow, step out of his own end zone, taking a
Shot near side, Higgins.
It's just incredible. One of the reasons why they were shut out for the first time in a number of years. Burrow puts a man
under it. Higgins, touchdown.
With Champ Kelly.
Where he can learn some concepts to the pro game was important.
Washington has blockers, and Washington.
Miami brings 5.
Burrow steps up in the pocket. What a pass. Gets into his tight end. Sample.
Bell, practice squad guy who's gotten some more reps.
P-Ryan bangs it in for the Cincinnati touchdown.
Practice squad making his NFL debut. Quick delivery. Greg Dulcich. Football is loose.
Cincinnati. Burrow far side. Brown turns, extends, and he is in for the Bengals touchdown.
It's been interesting, very animated. Vocal trying to help his rookie quarterback.
Ewers throws a pass, deflected and picked.
Miami 12.
Brown nearly untouched as he waltzes in for the touchdown.
We're going to see a great version of Joe Burrow next season.
Burrow fires down the field. Boy, they had to come back for it. It was Chase. Burrow near side, wide open. And the
Ewers from the gun. Can they make this a game here down the stretch?
Ewers pass, and that is picked.
Here
as Burrow slinging one to the end zone. It's Gesicki.
His intended receiver, Weiss. This is right on a pitch.
Crack up the foreign, I swear. Keep me a stick if they purge.
And with that, What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the NFL. Please like and subscribe. I hope you guys are ready for all these games that you just saw on Sunday. As you just saw the Bengals and Dolphins specifically, highlights from that one. As well, guys, there was a reason I did not include any of the games from the early window. That's because all of them were either not close. I mean, a couple of them were technically close, or all relevant. So I'm going to try to get through these irrelevant games as quickly as I possibly can. Sorry for this coming out a little bit late. Again, it's holiday season. Christmas is literally, I mean, maybe by the time you guys are seeing already here. So, again, crazy times, guys. We'll have the Monday night recap tomorrow, or maybe even later tonight. I'll see if I can get this out. We'll see you again. We're going to grind things out here. And then, obviously, we'll have the power rankings sometime on Tuesday night before Christmas is around the corner. No, that's me on actually Wednesday now I think about it. But anyway, as you guys did see, yesterday the Bengals bounced back on offense with a 45-21 dominant win over the Dolphins, in which they did give up 14 points pretty early, but that kind of subsided. They took a 45-14 lead the rest of the way, and this game really wasn't close at all. Bengals moved to 5-10. Dolphins fall to 6-9. That's pretty nice, if you ask me. Bengals, though, next week will be playing the Cardinals at home, and what will probably be another blowout. Either the Dolphins will be playing the Bucs and trying to spoil their season, as they'll probably try to spoil the Patriots season. Maybe no, they're not going to in Week 18. Hopefully, they're competitive though. Anyway, though, takeaways I have for the Bengals. There's the offense. That's probably the first thing here. Again, you look at Joe Burrow's numbers. This is his first time ever he's had 4 passing touchdowns or more in back-to-back road games. Again, they did get shut out at home in between that. So again, big asterisk with this. But back-to-back road games, first time he's ever thrown 4 touchdowns in back-to-back road games. Pretty insane there. But yeah, he had a big day. Yeah, the offense is back. Next thing, run game in red zone was too early. Yeah, it was too easy. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, Chase Brown, he had 3 total touchdowns. I think that's a sneaky stat line from him. But again, he's definitely had a struggle this year for fantasy. But again, a game like this will definitely help teams win their fantasy leagues. Also, though, yeah, I got the Monday Nighter in here. But anyway, as you guys can see, Chase Brown, he had, again, in the red zone, money there. And then obviously, Samaje Perine touchdown. Again, the Dolphins didn't do anything against them in the red zone there. T made a big difference in his return. Yeah, that is true. Again, you look at his game last week, he didn't play, so they obviously had some struggles, but he came back, made a couple big plays. Again, definitely a big difference maker there. Obviously, he's the second really freaking good receiver. Despite getting roasted early by the Dolphins' run game, solid adjustments. Yeah, to take this one over, Shamar had an encouraging return. Yeah, Shamar Stewart, who hasn't really played at all this year, I really liked his ability to stop the run this one. Just straight up beat guys off of blocks, which is really what you want to see out of a guy who was a first-round pick. Also, very good power rushes. I didn't see too much in terms of his, again, variance to his finesse moves, but at the same time, he had a very solid performance. I was very pleased by the way he played. Outside that, though, I'm not going to lie, guys, Miles Murphy's really finishing the year strong. A guy who was also a first-round pick a couple years ago. Didn't play really at all in 2023, or was it 2024? Am I just not knowing ball? No, I'm not crazy. And then last year, he stunk. 2024, he was a bad player. Legitimately, until like Week 18, he was legitimately a bad player. And then again, just kind of like in a way encapsulates how this Bengals defensive struggles have kind of again subsided here. But he's played a lot better recently. Other than ranting on him, I think they did make again big time adjustments, even though they were playing against Quinn Ewers. Other than that, though, they forced 3 turnovers, big reason. Again, for the lead getting so big, and they forced 3 off of the Dolphins. That's all I have for the Bengals, guys. Again, their season's over. They have a lot of stuff to do this offseason. But meanwhile, for Miami here, second straight losing season after they had 4 straight winning seasons, in which, again, the first 2 were by Brian Flores, and then, again, the last 2 were by Mike McDaniel, who, again, some people are saying he's safe as the head coach. I would be shocked if that is the reality, but, again, if they're able to play spoiler the next 2 weeks, who really knows? Quinn made good reads, just not good throws. Yeah, I think that's a good thing to say, because realistically, guys, he made a lot of good decisions with the football. It's just either his timing was off, his footwork was awful, or he just didn't make the throw. It's that simple. Quinn Ewers isn't a guy that I look at as, again, the most physically limited quarterback per se, but he's definitely not a guy you're going to look at who's make every single throw, even though I do like the way he was able to go through his progressions. It wasn't like he was exactly off in terms of what he was thinking. It was more the fact that, again, the timing was off and his rhythm, as well as, again, his footwork were just kind of all out of whack, as you might have expected for a guy who was arguably not even supposed to get drafted. But still, Quinn Ewers, talented player for sure, but we definitely saw the issues in this one. But as you guys could see, the running game was very, very good. Devon Achane had a 48-yarder early. Again, he has been a very good player for a tough team this season. First home loss since week 9. Also, I think that's something to notice. Again, they haven't lost again since that Baltimore game. Also, it's their first time this season for the defense giving up 300 yards to a quarterback. That just kind of speaks to how their secondary's been this year. It hasn't been great, obviously, in terms of their lock and again, Rasul Douglas has been arguably the best cornerback in football this year. I think a lot of people just don't realize that. I'd be shocked if he gets a first from an All-Pro team. Maybe he gets second team, considering he hasn't really played as much. But in terms of his like Pro Bowl candidacy, he'd be a snub if he didn't get it. Jack Jones has been a little bit all over the place, but he's a very talented player. And then their safeties have really played well again, especially Effective Melifano when he's came back. But obviously, we look at Minka being injured. That's definitely a big reason for their kind of struggles here. And also, their linebackers were atrocious in coverage, guys. Tyrell Dotson, Jordan Brooks, like golly. But anyway, other than that, third down plays were as expected, but would have liked to see some chances taken. Yeah, that's with Quinn Ewers. Again, they probably attempted like 3 downfield passes on third down. Would have liked to see a little bit more there. Again, they went 2 of 10, so again, kind of trying to change things up here. But I'm excited to see what the Dolphins can do the last 2 weeks in terms of their spoiler, because they definitely have an opportunity to do that. That's all I have from this one.
The New Orleans Saints are trying to win 3 in a row for the first time since 2022. The kick between the Saints and the Jets is coming up. Whether he is going to be a little more violent. Here's Hill with his first run, and there's a ball out, and it's loose. The Jets look like they have recovered it. Chuck rolls to his right. He's under pressure, and he's sacked. Center, and he'll keep it. I don't know if he got it. His second effort. He's on to punt the ball away. It's a fake. And it's Taysom Hill who powers his way for a first down. Good hole. Kick is on its way, and it's off to the left. Chuck is looking for the end zone. Caught Olave. Wide open, 23 yards. Cook pitches to his right. He's sacked. He lost the football. The pocket to the middle of the field. Intercepted. Sanker along the sidelines. Cook to throw. He's got a pass complete to Mitchell for a first down. Cook out of the gun. Pressure's coming. He is sacked by Chase Young. 7 sacks today. Shuck looking for it all to the end zone. Olave. Excuse me, that's Taysom Hill. Brady Cook has it nearly intercepted, but he's going to get a first down.
They working my nerves. I'm about to pull some serve. Fucking this bitch like a perm.
And our next meaningless game up was a big-time second half for the Saints as they shut out the Jets 20-0, and that second half to knock off these guys 29-6. Again, it was one of 2 first half scores that was 6-9. We'll get the other one in a little bit. But Saints have now won 4 out of their last 6 games, all with Tyler Shuck at quarterback. He has looked a lot better than Spencer Rattler did in that 1-8 start for them. They're really again starting to trend up and up. My bad. They're starting to go on the up and up here. But anyway, next week they will be playing the Titans on the road before they finish on the road in Atlanta. So 2 games for them to maybe even get to 7 wins, which would be pretty cool to end the season on a 5-game winning streak. Again, that definitely should be the goal for them at this point. Jets fall to 3-12. They're a miserable football team. They are really trying to lose games right now, as this was not a fun one to watch. Sorry about that. But anyways, you guys can see takeaways after the Jets. There's not a ton because they, again, obviously got obliterated. But if I did have any, Cook took 8 sacks, and he wasn't like eating them. Yeah, he succeeded in taking them pre-snap. Yeah, Brady Cook looked like absolutely lost in this game. As you might expect, he was a mid-tier SEC quarterback. He probably shouldn't be in the NFL. Nothing against, again, him as a player. It's just, or not person. Probably shouldn't have said that. As you guys can see, 8 sacks taken. Pre-snap, there were just so many plays he was like cooked pre-snap because of the fact he wasn't able to make an adjustment, or the Jets offensive coordinator really didn't help him. That's what I'll say there. A lot of stuff on tape. It was just like it was going to be a sack no matter what happened. Also, again, talking about eating sacks, I mean, like, again, if he was like read out of play, wasn't there, just sat down. That really didn't. Again, maybe twice that happened. The other 6 sacks were just like pre-snap. It was the play was going to get blown out no matter what happened. No one blocked. Haven't won a road game since week 8. Yeah, that week 8 game they beat the Bengals. I'll mention in that. But as you guys can see, they have not been good on the road. Sorry about that stutter. But anyway, back to this. Will McDonald, spam ghosts and speed riffs there. He was okay, I guess. I don't know. I didn't really watch a ton of Will McDonald in this game. I think I watched like 10 of his passes. I charted like 4. It wasn't one of those games I was really too stressed about watching him play because I know he was going to play well, and you know what? He did. So that's all I have on him. 2 of 15 on third down. 0 of 2 in the red zone. Yeah, that's definitely a woof there. I mean, it's rough, guys. This is not a very efficient offense right now. Again, you're not going to win many games when you have that going on and putting up 195 yards. I mean, you guys got outgained by well over 200 yards. That's what I'll have the Jets. They suck. For the Saints, though, I have actually a ton of stuff to talk about with them. Big thing was Shook was very good. Really only had some Yeah, I don't even know why I didn't finish that. But, yeah, he was good. Taysom Hill, I like the 38-yard touchdown. He had a fun one. Then, again, ran the ball only 10 times for the running backs for 22 yards. Again, it was actually kind of funny they were able to have some success despite that. Olave, again, monster game. Here's an overreaction for him. He'll lead the league in receiving yards next season. Again, that's really just a bold prediction for next year. But honestly, it could definitely happen. Again, best game in a while, honestly, in a couple of years at this point. But, again, did his thing. Yeah, Juwan Johnson is, again, a beast for fantasy consistency, 8 for 89. I mean, I didn't have him play. I think I had Hunter Henry in, but big-time game. Interior of the offensive line was awesome. Maintained, penetrated, and created huge windows for Shuck to throw the ball. Again, yeah, protection was amazing in this game. Run game, the run blocking definitely could have been better. Awesome blitz disguises for this defense confused the heck out of Cook, as well as superb gap control and run fits from this D-line. They just completely took this game over. On top of the fact that their linebackers were minding this game. I will say that the secondary really wasn't that great overall. First 300 game for Saints passer since 2023 when Derek Carr did it again against the Rams back in Week 16. That was an embarrassing game. That we still made the playoffs though, so I won't even get into that. Cam Jordan is having a fun year. Love the secondary intensity. They didn't really play that great, but again, they were definitely into this. Give all the credit to the Saints defense in this one. That's all I have from this one. Let's get to another meaningless game.
And good afternoon from Nashville for the defending AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs and the Tennessee Titans. The injury is just amazing. First, they're going to get him in the backfield and in the end zone. And Hunt was knocked down. It's a safety.
Well, there's 8 at the line of scrimmage there. They only rushed 4, though.
He dumps it out. Caught by Spears. Blockers ahead, including Skoronski. A quick block place.
He needs some milk.
From the 7. Here's a little pitch. They go up. Shovel pass. Touchdown.
How about that pirouette?
They bring everybody. Here comes Tranquil. Here comes Hicks. And he's belted as he throws. And caught DK right in front of Fulton.
To get a quick snap.
First and goal. Here they go. Ward, end zone, caught, touchdown. The far. And he is going to miss it.
Nope, they're going for it. With a 10-point lead.
Spears the back and the call. First and goal. There's a good-looking block by Cushenberry. Opens the door. Titans have scored again.
Crack up the phone, I swear. Keep me a stick if they purge.
Alright guys, Titans get their 3rd win of the year and their first home win since Week 9 last year. I know that's that insane. It's also their first 3-score win since Week 4, 2023. Yeah, well over 2 years ago. That was against Cincinnati when they blew them out 27-3. That's when Joe Burrow really fell off the rails. But then they kind of got up and then he got injured. So I'm gonna stop talking about that. But the Titans now move to 3-12. Basically blowing their chances on the number 1 pick here, as again they still should be able to get one of those top 3 wide receivers, which they really freaking need in the draft. And honestly, I don't know if they'd want to get any other guy maybe late in the draft. But yeah, 26-9 was the final score. With 6-9 at the half. That's really nice. But the Chiefs, I mean, yeah, this was definitely a tough one for them. But the Titans are now 3-12. They will be playing against the Saints next week in a game that they hopefully will lose. Chiefs 6-9 now. They'll be playing on a short weekend Christmas, probably with Chris Oladokun starting at quarterback, which is just absolutely insane because Gardner Minshew tore his ACL. I don't know how that's possible. I didn't know that you could have quarterbacks in back-to-back weeks tear their ACLs. It cannot have happened ever before. But yeah, it'll be fun to watch them get absolutely blown out on Thursday night, but also on Christmas. My bad. But also, if you're a Chiefs fan, I mean, this is again your team's not very good in the first place. Like the roster itself, you have a lot of work to do this offseason. I think the first thing you guys should do, even though it's not really very likely, get an effing number 1 receiver. I'm sorry. This Chief again. A lot of people are like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Again, we'll talk about this like for the offseason video and all that crap. We'll get in that like way later. But I just want to mention this now. Running game is an issue, obviously. They haven't been able to run the ball in like 5 years. But honestly, guys, Xavier Worthy he's just not good enough. It's that simple. He's just not the guy. They need a true number 1 receiver, like Ted McMillan. Perfect guy. They would have gotten him. Again, obviously, that's like a big, huge if. But if he was in this offense, I'm like, that's your dude. But defense, there's some issues too. But again, first thing I do if I'm a Chiefs fan, again, not Lamar Hunt, what the heck. Here's the point. I would get a number 1 receiver. They don't have that right now. It's that simple. All right, off of that tangent I just had, Chiefs' actual takeaways from this game, there's really not too much to talk about, guys. But first thing is, it's the first losing season in 2012, first 3-score loss since that Week 18 game at Denver last year. That game they didn't play anyone before that. Probably was this game if I had to guess. Again, because they lost by 3 scores against them in 2021. But back to this here. Yeah, who is Chris Oladokun? I have no idea who the hell this guy is. He got drafted by the Steelers. He won the Super Bowl last year with them. That's really all I know about him. And he was pretty brutal in this game. We have anything else? 133 yards on offense is, again, other than that Denver game last year when they played backups, which I mean basically this game is too, but real game. Last time they had less than 130 yards on offense was Week 14, 2012 versus the Raiders. Also, it's their first 4-game losing streak of any sort since 2017. That season they were 6-2 and went 6-6. Ended up making the playoffs, but you get the point. Haven't won a road game since Week 3. That's insane. That was against the Giants. That's actually, if I'm not mistaken, their only road win this season. So they've struggled here. Fullon played too much. Safeties were trash. Yeah, why is he out there over some of those younger corners, bro? He's gonna probably, what is he, 32 now? He's gonna get 27. He's a good cornerback. I mean, he hasn't been really good this year, but you get the point. He's the guy that you want on your team. But why is he playing now? He's like a starting caliber guy. Like, what are we doing? Other than that, though, I like snap count for Zach Pickens. Yeah, who had a pretty good game. Again, we're just talking about guys who did their thing. But yeah, Chris Jones didn't even play in this game. Again, he might retire or something. I don't know. He's kind of had a rough year. Cam Ward, he looked pretty good. Yeah, and that throw to Dyke, or I don't know how do you pronounce this guy's name. Who knows? He had a really nice 30-yard catch. Also had a touchdown, too. Yeah, but Cam Ward, best game of his rookie season statistically for sure. Run game was sneaky good. O-line had its highest yards before carry per attempt over the last 3 weeks for the first time since 2022 with Derrick Henry. That's actually true. This offensive line hasn't blocked this well, again, in terms of the run game since Derrick Henry had his massive season in 2022. And we're talking like early in the season before they fell off and lost 7 straight that year. And they also missed the playoffs. All right, back to you this. First home win since I already talked about that. All right. We got through that. Do we have anything else to talk about? Youngin showed up on defense. Yeah, this defense, I like again, how their young guys played. Can they, yeah, they're not going to get the #1 pick. First time, okay. What does that even say? We're just going to forget that. All right, one of the most efficient days I've seen out of this offense in years. I think that is fair to say. All right, I'm off of this game, guys. There's not really much else to get through.
On a sunny December afternoon here at MetLife Stadium, Jackson Dart and the New York Giants.
Here. Play clock winding down. Giants get the snap away. Dart on 4th down, wrapped up and sacked. 2nd down and 9. Oh, McCarthy on the deflection. It's picked off. Off the hands of Johnson and picked off. It deflected away from McCarthy on 3rd down. Looking, can't find anyone. Inside the 5, hurdles into the end zone for a Vikings touchdown. Number 4 Burns knocks the ball free, and the Giants are going to score on defense. Tyler Newman. Leave the offense out on the field. 4th down and 2 as they go for it, and they convert. Darius Slayton makes the catch from the left hash from 30 yards out. There's Dart on 4th down, looking. Van Ginkel wraps him up, throws him down.
And our next one up is, yeah, this one was, there's not many good things I can say about this game, but the Vikings ended up winning their 3rd straight. After losing 4 straight, that's actually kind of how their season's gone. An absolute roller coaster. But now they're closer to 500. Next week, they'll be playing on a short week on Christmas Day against the Lions, trying to officially eliminate them from the playoffs. Giants fall to 2-13 and are well on their way to the #1 pick and are playing the game of the year. That's the only game I'm watching in the late window. Screw Eagles, Bills, even though that's way more important. Giants Raiders is for the #1 pick, guys. I am watching that. Whoever is going to win that is going to get Mendoza. That's what a casual will tell you. Would tell you. But yeah, that game is going to be generationally good next Sunday. All right, back to this stuff. For JJ and this Vikings team, I did not know Max Brosmer came in. When I turned on the tape, I figured it out. But like, I was actually genuinely confused why he was out there. All right, Aaron Jones had a solid day. Yeah, he was good. Really the only guy on this offense that had somewhat of a performance other than Justin Jefferson, who finally looked like himself, sort of. D could have played better. They gave up 6 points. Yeah, again, when you give up 6 points, guys, look, what are you doing? You got to give up 0. Like, what are we doing there? What else do we have? Third straight win at the Giants. They had that 20-6 win last year to open the season. They also had one back in 2019, 20-10 win. So again, they're doing well here. Ryan Smith might have to retire. My bad. Ryan Kelly might have to retire. That's probably the extreme one because he has like 6 concussions in his career, 3 this season. Bro, you're actually cooked. Like you can't think at that point. Like, bro, you made enough money in the league, Ryan, bro. You were a good center for a while, bro. Just retire. All right, now moving for the Giants. I mean, this kind of tells you everything. This tells you more. Kendall, just in for comparison. I kind of already spoiled it, but like. You know, this with that guy, more picks than completions. It's only Ryan Leaf was the other guy to deal that. And then look at this. That kind of tells you all you need to know. But other than that, what else do we have? 9 straight losses, the third season they've had this happen. In 2019 they did when they were 2-11. Last year they were 2-3 and went to 2-13, right? Yeah, they lost 10 straight that year. Jesus. But anyway, other than that, for the Giants, somehow they had 141 total yards. Again, the O-line did enough for the run game. Again, I don't think they played well, but I mean, the run game had some function to it, which is better than nothing. D stepped up, well undisciplined, very encouraging plays. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, from the dudes who will be here in 2026. Yeah, basically just Abdul Carter and, you know, the dudes. Javon Holland should have had a pick 6 too, but, you know, Abdul Carter, he kind of made up for it. I don't know, guys. He had a weird game. Brian Burns is by far their best player in this defense right now. Again, Dexter Lawrence obviously is awesome too, but he has not had his elite season per se. He's been good, but not normal sexy Dexy, guys. That's all I'll say. But all right, back to this. For the Giants, anything else I really want to note? Probably not. Yeah, they were 0-3 in the red zone. And I don't even know how they got in the red zone, to be honest with you guys. Even though the Vikings had 2 turnovers. And one of them was a scoop and score. This game was a game. That's about it.
Baker Mayfield on the Bucs going for another division title. Standing in their way, the Panthers and Bryce Young playing in the biggest game of his career. Throwing for the end zone, Mike Evans! Touchdown! That's a Buccaneer touchdown! White waiting for a block. Rachaad White gets it! Rachaad White! Across midfield, and he has help. Going that way, McMillan in the end zone. He's got it! And that's going to be a Panthers touchdown! And Sean Tucker will glide into the end zone untouched for a Buccaneer score. Young is trying to scramble out of it, and he cuts back. Flows, touchdown! Panthers! Does Mayfield have time to throw? He does, and... oh, yes! Wanted the ball. Here comes the blitz. He's going to throw it deep for Coker, and he holds it in. There's a flag. Mayfield throws, and it's intercepted. It's a takeaway.
All right, now to a game that actually has some sort of weight to it. We have the Bucs blow another game. Why is this here? Against the Panthers, 23-20, as their reeling stretch here really continues here, as they have now lost, what is it now, 3 straight? Something like that. They're really struggling right now. Or is it more than that? Have they lost 4 straight? It's been, no, 3 straight. There we go. But yeah, they suck. They've been playing awful for the past 2 months. Like, there's no other way to put it. But with that Panthers win, that does propel them into the AFC's or NFC's 4 seed at the moment. If they win and the Bucs blow it against Miami on Sunday, might I mind you that the Panthers will be playing Seattle in front of the whole country on Sunday. At home, though. Keep that in mind. That is probably the one thing I'll say there. I'm the biggest Panthers fan next Sunday, just so you know. Biggest Panthers fan in the world. I will be repping a Bryce Young booster seat Bryce shirt. I will buy a booster seat Bryce shirt if they win that game. I'm not even kidding. I'll be so happy. So happy if they figure that out. But again, the craziest thing is, even if the Bucs lose on Sunday, but if the Panthers lose, the Bucs would still technically be alive for the playoffs. It's insane. But yeah, it's still possible. I don't know how it is, but it is. But I think there's like a weird thing with if the Falcons finish 8-9, which I don't think will happen because they play the Rams, but if they finish 8-9 and then the Bucs and Panthers do, the Panthers would get it. I don't know. It's very bizarre, guys. I think the Bucs would still have the tiebreaker, though, because I think they do have the tiebreaker on the Panthers. And again, if they win in Week 18. But all you didn't need to know is they still have a shot to make the playoffs. They're actually at a 58% chance, because, again, the Panthers still have to play the Seahawks. But honestly, guys, I'm a Panthers fan. I'm very confident right now. Again, they're like talking about, oh, the win team. Guys, when the Panthers are at home, guys, they're going to win freaking games. That's that simple. They are a home team. You do not want to go there unless you're the Saints because they won by double digits. But it's very simple, guys. The narrative for my narrative for Panthers right now is you go there, you're going to lose. It's that simple. I see Seattle getting, I'm not going to say blown out, but it's going to be, they're not going to win. That's what I'm going to say. All right, here we go. Panthers don't move to 8-7. It's their first time leading the division this late in the season since 2015. That's the least thing I put down. But yeah, we're going to get some takeaways in the Bucs here. First things first, they might actually lose the division. Have to run the table. Yeah, I think that is fair. They got to beat Miami next week, hopefully. But yeah, the thing is, guys, the Bucs. I'm actually still confident the Bucs winning this division. Again, as much as I want to see the Panthers in the playoffs, I think the Bucs will end up getting it done. Even though they're playing this bad. It's 2 games. Yeah, but they're both in Florida. They are home for the last 2 games. Baker was trash, but no one got open and terrible play calling. Yeah, I had no idea what the hell was going on with that. Run game had no explosives other than the, again, Rachaad White run. He had a 39-yarder, but this running game overall just didn't have any juice to it. Again, at least Baker had a massive scramble. First time since 2022 with a losing record entering going into week 17. Again, 2022 they ended up beating the Panthers to clinch division that week. Again, kind of week 18 it'll be this year as they did last year or 2 years ago. Whatever, you get the point. This skill group is overrated. Didn't do jack against, again, a mid at best secondary. Yeah, the Panthers secondary isn't really doing a lot right now. Again, Emeka got a 40-yard catch and a beauty of a ball from Baker. But other than that, this offense didn't do crap. Mike Evans caught a touchdown, but again, he's like honestly washed right now the way he's playing. But again, he just broke his collarbone. I'm not going to go too crazy on that. Linebacker stopped the run, but no one else seemed to be interested. Yeah, this defense really wasn't out there to play a football game today or yesterday. Pressure rate saw an uptick. No finishing, though. Yeah, they did get some decent pressure. It just really didn't amount to a ton. I did like the blitzing. Again, they've lost 6 out of their last 8 after that 5-1 start, which is insane. They actually were able to get out to that start. And if it wasn't for that, they wouldn't even be here. Panthers, please beat Seattle. I'm going to continue to say that, guys, throughout the week. Again, that's the greatest late Christmas gift I could ever get. Bryce was cool as a cucumber under pressure. Yeah, he was actually like nailed. Again, he did take 2 sacks and he got a couple of throws affected him, but this is one of his better games handling any pressure this really in his career. Run game was flat. But again, we're able to manage it. They couldn't really get much going again, especially with Rico Dowdle. But again, they were able to again make it somewhat useful. Tested Cook. Cooked on intermediate routes. Yeah, he had a bunch of big plays there. Bryce leads the league with his 12 fourth quarter comebacks since 2023. Don't say he poops his pants, guys. What are you talking about? Layla Ransom is proving himself more and more each week. Again, much better in coverage in this game. Yeah, it's usually been something different for him. But again, he had the huge interception here. But again, in this game, again, it was just his coverage was, again, much better than what we've seen this season. Also, they haven't lost a home game since week 10. And rookie edge rusher showed out in support for the defensive line and here the defensive lineman. Yeah, that is true. They got some again. Good support there. Again, this defense really played as a team there. But other than that, that's all I have in this game. Big time win for the Panthers. Let's get into our Chargers game that had a very bizarre ending, even though it was basically meaningless.
One of the highest powered offenses in the NFL, playing his home finale this season as Justin Herbert and the Chargers have plenty to play for in the playoff chase. So why not go for it on 4th and 2 with a shot for Pickens. Back shoulder throw, first down. 10th play of this opening drive is a Prescott throw underneath and a touchdown for Dallas. It's Ryan Flanoy. So these 2nd down and 7 plays are big. Shot down the field, end zone. It is held on to by Johnston for the touchdown. Just a 4-man rush this time for Dallas. Herbert's got a man down the sideline. McConkey for the touchdown. 2nd and short. Prescott takes a deep shot down the sideline. It is Pickens picking it for the touchdown. It's going to be Herbert with the push from Matlock, and he's in for the touchdown. Herbert off the play fake, stepping up, climbing the pocket, taking a shot. Johnston. He held on. He is. So that pickup means they're going to go for it on 4th down and short. It's Lipke, the fullback. They're on the 4-man rush. And here comes Owe chasing Prescott, who gets hit as he flings it down the field, incomplete. Little shuffle off to the right. It's Hampton, and it's a touchdown. Last year, made a start against Buffalo in the finale last year. Had a nice performance and a nice run here. But he has that ball chopped out of his hand.
Alright guys, and as you can see, the Chargers had no problem taking care of the Cowboys with a big time second half defensive performance as they knocked off the Cowboys 34-17 in a game that really, again, showed how good they can be, as they now have a shot with this win to be the #1 seed in the AFC. I think there's still 5 teams that maybe have that shot, as they have more likely than not made themselves a playoff team. But again, their real challenge here is if they can beat Houston next week in a game that will definitely cement their playoff chances, as that game will be on a short week, be played on Saturday in LA, and if they're able to win that game, they will keep their playoff hopes, their chances for the #1 seed. Not #1 seed. What is called the freaking division, the AFC West. There we go. Which would be their first division title in a very long time. And if they are able to win next week against Houston, that would set up the game because of the Denver loss, which we will get to very, very soon. But other than that, for the Chargers in this one, biggest thing for them is they have now won 11 games in back-to-back seasons for the first time, and I think it was 06-07. I think we talked about that last week. But anyway, Chargers big game against Houston next week. Cowboys fall to 6-8-1. They'll probably still finish the season at 500 because they play 2 terrible teams the next 2 weeks. But still, Cowboys definitely have had a rough season defensively. They're going to be probably getting rid of Matt Eberflus, who will be getting fired twice over a pretty short time frame. Pretty insane. Anyway, though, looking at how this game played out and the takeaways out for the Chargers, they can win the division. That's the biggest thing here, guys. Again, if they're able to win out, they would win the division, control their destiny for that. 1 seed, not so much because of the Patriots' big-time W comeback they had. Again, which we'll get to lastly here. That will be, again, it'll be tough because the Patriots don't exactly play the hardest teams the last 2 weeks. Herbert, first legitimately great game in a while. Yeah, he had a big-time day. 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, very accurate. I mean, there's really nothing bad I can say about his performance, outside of maybe taking a couple ugly reads, but other than that, again, he was perfectly good in this one. Hampton played well. Vidal should have gotten a couple more carries. That's just my personal opinion. They did fine with that. Again, he still got 5 carries for 2.2 yards per carry. Kind of tells you where he was at. But still, Hampton had a big day. Johnson had a couple of huge plays. Yeah, again, the 50-yard catch, the touchdown, those were just beautiful plays. Also, no, that's not true because they won that many games. They should, maybe not even. So, guys, there's still a shot the Chargers to miss the playoffs. Miss playoffs. Be like the 7th seed, so keep that in mind. But we'll talk about things in a little bit. All right, next thing up. They turned it in the second gear in the second half with a lot of boundary zone looks, shifts from simulated pressures, and shifted from simulated pressures in the first quarter, which they really just spammed. But again, Jesse Minter, very, very good adjustments. Part of the reason they were able to have a big-time second half. Derwin James, big part of that as well. Pass rush. Continues to cook. Had 452 yards of total offense as well. Again, 2 very different things I just talked about there. But again, as you guys could see, they did have only 1 sack, but they got good pressure and obviously 452 total yards. You'll take that any day of the week. All right, other than that, we got some stuff for the Cowboys. They needed to refocus this defense. It's just not it right now. Dak got out-dueled, showed in the second half. He kind of fell off a cliff there. He still didn't have a bad game, but again, the game was over by the time he came out of there. No run game to speak of. Again, sped the game up as well. Yeah, they could not run the ball to save their lives. Devontae Williams had a rough one. Again, they just kind of got out-raced there. Probably will stay. Yeah, I talked about that. No one showed up on the front 7. Allowed 25 or more points for 4 straight games. That's insane, guys. This defense is just not looking too hot right now. I mean, that's just that simple. Poor decisions on pace in red zone as well. It was really the play calling when I'm talking about this pace, kind of what they're trying to do. They went 1 of 3 there, but again, they probably should have went 3 of 3. But anyways, as you guys can see, the Chargers were just too much for the Cowboys in this one, winning this one by 3 scores. That's all I have for you guys here. Let's get to another game that had some pretty big significance to it.
JB, we're at Huntington Bank Field on a frigid Sunday along Lake Erie. Josh Allen and the Bills are coming off another come-from-behind win. They have not spent a whole lot of time in the red zone. Off the boot, Sanders connects with Fannin for the touchdown. Cook gets around 3 defenders and then kicks it to another gear. Cook still going, looking for the angle. Touchdown. Shotgun. Sanders pump.
Hello there.
Up in the air, and it's a gift interception. First and goal. Allen on a give. And it's Ty Johnson walking it in for the touchdown. Handoff to Cook. Trying to get there, extends his arm. He's not to even give him a chance. Allen gets out of there.
There's a chance.
Allen, he's tripped up. Take the handoff. Sanders once again deflected, and it's intercepted. Second and goal. Fannin. Inside run to Fannin. Allen waits, throws, incomplete. Shotgun Sanders. Sanders gets out of trouble, and now he can't get away. Roll, Allen, pump, throw, end zone! It's dropped! Got it. Allen gets it.
Alright guys, our next game was a way too close game as the Bills were able to escape Cleveland with a 23-21, making it their 11th straight win and keeping their playoff hopes alive, their division hopes alive. I think they would need to win out, and they would need the Patriots to lose out to get that opportunity. But the moment they're the 6th seed, and I guess they'll be resting their starters in Week 18 versus the Jets. But next week, monster game against the Eagles, and will definitely be not playoff preview per se, but definitely a test for both those teams. Browns fought at 3-12. They definitely had a rough year. They've lost 4 straight games. A couple of those to really bad teams. But still, this is a team that we kind of already know where they're at. But still, pretty positive performance considering how they've been playing recently. But again, offensively, definitely some issues from what I saw in that second half. But overall, again, Myles Garrett's literally just a sack away. That's all we're looking at right now. And they have a good shot to do it because he could do it against A-Rod, which would be pretty cool. I think Brett Favre, that's when Strahan did it too. So that would be pretty cool. All right, back to this. For the Bills. They didn't care. That's honestly the best way to put it. That's at least what the attitude looked like. Gabe didn't have anything after early in the third quarter. Yeah, there was literally no scoring. I guess the Browns scored in the fourth quarter, but like I honestly didn't even notice that, to be honest with you guys. Again, the Bills just kind of like milled it in there. Again, it was enough, I guess. Josh had a weird game, but made the play that was dropped that would have iced the game. Yeah, again, bro, where's Dawson Knox? Like you can't drop that. That's a freaking touchdown, bro. Like, what the hell are you doing? Greg Rousseau. Until the last drive was the only one doing anything on defense. Yeah, they kind of closed out the game well. Really probably the last 3 drives. But yeah, Greg Rousseau, he showed out in this game, and he was low-key carrying them for most of this one. James Cook looks to be heating up at the right time. Yeah, he's had a couple back-to-back big-time performances. He's gonna continue gonna have to continue to do this. 5th straight win as well for this team. Again, they were 6-3 after that loss to Miami. They have won 5 straight there. No, 6-4. No, because they lost a different game, didn't they? Right? Or am I wrong? No. No, they lost to the freaking Texans, so not 5 straight wins. Or, yeah. No, 4 straight wins. You get the point. Deion Dawkins, Osiris Torrance, and Spencer Brown were fantastic. Yeah, they were really good. Again, they didn't give up too much pressure, which, again, is really the biggest thing from this one. Big man pick with Daquan Jones, plus... yeah, Jordan Poyer did play pretty well. Really, that's all I have for the guys. I don't have too much to go off of the Bills, guys, because realistically, they kind of just played in this one. It really wasn't something they really were really caring about. As long as they didn't lose, I don't really care. You could talk about concerns and stuff, but honestly, I don't care. This is the year this team's going to win the Super Bowl, even if they have freaking Jackson Howes or whatever the hell you didn't pronounce his name, leading them in receiving. Now for the Browns. I don't have a ton to talk about with them, but yeah. Shador hung in there. I think I talked about that last week. Made his reads. Yeah, again, he did okay. Kept him in the game for most of it. Atrocious 3rd and 4th down, especially with protection. Yeah, it was just an absolute mess there, especially in the last couple drives. They went 8-14, which isn't too bad. But again, I just really didn't like the approach they had in this game, especially late. Prayers to Judkins. Just a again brutal injury. Again, it's just you really can't say anything good about that. Yeah, who is Travion Williams, bro? He led them in receiving. Like, this is bad. Also, shout out to Harold Fan. He had 2 touchdowns in this game. Yeah, Garrett's so close, bro. And also, Carson Schlesinger, he's getting really close to clinching that defensive rookie there right now. I mean, you can't technically clinch it, but he's about as close as I guess you figuratively could be. But still, Browns at the Steelers next week. That would be a funny upset, and the game could still be meaningless. So I guess that's what's going on.
It's a holiday treat on Fox as Trevor Lawrence rolls into the Mile High City with the Jags. But Bo Nix and the Broncos hope to spoil the Jacksonville streak.
High snap is pulled down. Lutz is kick, aiming for the crossbar. We get a doink. Lawrence looking for help. Lawrence will throw on the run, and he fits it into Parker Washington. 3rd and 3. Lawrence floating for the end zone. Washington with the catch. He had Jaquan McMillan draped all over. On 3rd and 5, Nick's looking that direction for the end zone, drops it in to Cortland Sutton. Lawrence looking for Strange to the end zone, diving catch, touchdown Jacksonville.
And they are right the majority of the time.
Handoff Harvey. On the move, down the sideline, Harvey diving for the pylon, touchdown Broncos.
Broncos. Lawrence will keep. Lawrence will walk in, and the Jaguars lead once more. It's Washington, first down and more. Parker Washington on the run. ETN out of the backfield, on the edge, the cutback, the broken tackle, the touchdown for Jacksonville.
He stays in that pocket.
Now 2nd and 4 and a fumbled exchange, and the Jaguars take it. Nix sets up, and he's looking deep. Wants Franklin, drops it in. Franklin with a catch. 1st and goal, Denver. Fake on 1st down. He'll check it to Harvey up the sideline. Harvey with some room. Harvey gets a block upfield and into Jacksonville territory on 1. On 4th and 2. Nix to the sideline, intercepted. Jarian Jones with his 2nd pick of the year. Off. Nix looking deep. And it's out of bounds. Incomplete.
And arguably the biggest result from Sunday was the Jags' upset and statement win over the Broncos, in which Trevor Lawrence had 4 total touchdowns as they knocked them off 34-20 with some big-time 4th down stops for that defense late. On top of their offense, completely stunning that Broncos defense as they now move to 11-4 with their 5th consecutive win, if I'm not mistaken, and they are in a spot where they could end up getting the 1 seed in our game. No, that's not true, because the freaking Texans, bro. There's a shot they can clinch the division by Sunday, when they will be playing the Colts in Indy. Broncos, they'll fall at 12-3. It is their first loss, again, after that 11-game winning streak, but realistically, they had something to do at some point. Again, thankfully, at least at this point, it isn't for the playoffs. Next week, though, they'll be on a short week playing against the Chiefs in Kansas City. That would be a hilarious loss for them, but my guess that's not going to happen. But again, that puts them in a position where, again, unless they see the Texans lose, again, they're definitely, again, after they're definitely be looking at Texans game on Saturday, but again, if they see the Texans lose, they will have to be playing the Chargers for the division in Week 18, which will definitely be a hell of a game. But again, considering they already lost the Chargers, that's where the tiebreaker comes in there. So if they lost in Week 18, that the Chargers would have the tiebreaker. You get the point. On top of that, the Jags, they're the 3 seed right now. They're trying to climb up into the 2 seed, and if I think, what is it? We said the Chargers finished 13-4. They would actually have the tiebreaker. So in the reality that the Chargers are able to win on Saturday, that the Jags would be big winners. As long as they take care of business in Week 17-18, they have the Titans at home in Week 18, and if they're able to beat the Colts in Week 17, that would give them a shot at getting the 2 seed. I don't think they're going to get the 1 seed. I talked about the Patriots, that the Patriots have the clearest shot path to the 1 seed because they have the best chance to get the best record. Unless, again, if the Broncos win out, they will get the 1 seed. It's that simple, but you get the point. Patriots just need them to lose in Week 18. Jags, they need the Patriots to get upset big time, like big time upset if they lose week 17 or 18 there. But yeah, Jags, they're looking good. They should win this division, to be honest with you guys. But as you guys can see, with this one, Trevor Lawrence, again, absolutely phenomenal performance in this game. There's really not many bad things you can say. Obviously, it wasn't his cleanest game. He did have 5 sacks. I think a couple of them he just 8, but you get the point. Yeah, he's proven legit over the past 4 games. He's been really freaking good the past 4 games. Obviously, a couple crappy defenses the past 2 weeks, but this was one of the better ones in the league. 5 straight ties their longest winning streak since 2023. Again, if they win in Indy next week, it will be their longest winning streak since 2022. Again, if we combine the playoffs streak they had that year as well. Also, 11 wins is their most wins since 2007. I gotta give it to Liam Cohen. He has had a big time year and has proved me wrong a lot. Yeah, I might be wrong. This is their first. Also, this is their first win versus a team with 10 or more games over 500 since they won in Pittsburgh back in 2018 in that divisional round game, which was a crazy upset at that point because that was like peak Killer Bees years and stuff. ETN looked really good. Yeah, he's having a really good season. The running game wasn't really completely efficient in this one, but he just looked like so fresh in this game. Also, Parker Washington, insane gadget player, 63-yard catch. He had a big time day. Tackles were really good. Yeah, Anton Harrison, Walker Little. Great technique to prevent rotation from picking up engagement. The reason I say that is that the Broncos pass rush rotation is really good at that, and they're going to dominate if you're able to do that. But they were very, very, again, like discreet with that. Who is BJ Green, bro? He had a sack. He was a beast in this game. But like, what the heck? And that's also, yeah, with leverage and winning at the point of attack for where is he? For the interior defensive line. That's what I liked. But anyway, that's all I got for the Jags. There's a lot of good that I saw. For the Broncos, Nix was terrible in the 4th quarter. That is true. Missed several open guys that would have been 20-plus yard plays if, again, it was layered right. But the reason I say that is because some of those he didn't even try to attempt. Like, he just held the ball. So, again, that was just kind of a frustrating thing I saw from him. Harvey 6 carries for 12 yards was dropped before the long run. But, again, he's their most talented playmaker. Getting, what was it? 7 carries is insane. Prayers to Pat Bryant. Yeah, that was a really tough injury as well. Again, him and Quinshon Judkins just not good at all. 11-game winning streak ends. First home loss since week 6 of last year versus the Chargers. That was a 23-16 loss. That was a really good game too. But back to this. That's kind of where they're at there. Son is so good on third down. Perfect for the postseason. Yeah, he's just continuing to get better here. But again, overall, end of the game wasn't awesome. Secondary had a huge weakness outside of Hufanga and Surtain. They don't close on the ball. Yeah, that's the biggest thing that you see from the secondary. They don't close on the ball well. Also, yeah, they were a little bit shaky in space with tackling. Pressure was more of a fluky than actual first time all season that has really happened. Again, their pressures really weren't, again, it was kind of like artificial pressure is the best way to put it, because there were definitely some plays where Trevor definitely just didn't get rid of the ball. Third down and long had no true purpose. Yeah, felt like they were just trying to see what happened instead of, again, maybe, trying to get closer for a fourth down conversion or just maybe trying to convert it. I don't know. It was a very bizarre approach for them there. But either way, Broncos still outgained the Jags by over almost 100 yards. But again, with the efficiency standpoint, or my bad, from an efficiency standpoint, not in terms of yards per play, they weren't able to, again, really get in the end zone as much. So yeah, Jags scored more points. They got the W.
The desert has been rather unforgiving for the Atlanta Falcons, who have never won at State Farm Stadium as the Cardinals and Falcons get Cousins into traffic, and Atlanta's going to turn it over one way or another. Maybe out of the backfield. Yes, indeed. Catch and run. Robinson is gone. He'll leak out. Cousins, end zone, touchdown picks. We're in the NFL's kicker era. Nope. This one is off the post. This to tie from 44. And it leaps again. Brother, this guy stinks! All the feelings. They're just going to go ahead and run it in. It's a touchdown for Cousins and the Falcons. Warner ran right down the hash mark. Brissett tucks it far side and intercepted.
Our next meaningless game saw the Falcons get to 6-9. That's pretty nice, as they will be hosting the Rams next week on Monday Night Football. 26-19 was the final score. Cardinals fall to 3-12. They have lost 12 out of the last 13 games and are absolutely atrocious. Next week they will be heading to Cincy, for another meaningless game. This game though was marred by a very slow start from Kirk Cousins and his Falcons offense, and then they finally got things going in that second quarter, which kind of propelled them to a comeback of sorts. But anyway, from this one, takeaways from the Atlanta. Literally 0 games have gone in the Rams' favor. Yeah, again, especially with the freaking Falcons winning. Why didn't they freaking win? Also, guys, Colts game is not going too great right now. I mean, they're down by 14 in the third quarter, but I really need that game to freaking go the Rams away there. Like, what are we doing? Kirk started slow. Like, yeah, just what was he doing out there? Also, Tyler Alligator and Bijan Robinson, 2023 versions of them. They had, again, very complimentary game. Exact same carries. Oh, Bijan's worse. He didn't have as many yards. I'm joking. But still, he led them receiving for 792 touchdowns. So I guess he made up for that. Drake London looked out there in his return. Not really much else. But yeah, Bijan's also the third Falcons player ever to have 2,000 scrimmage yards in a season. Great for him. Clap it up. But also, Kyle Pitts, best separation all season. Yeah, he was very, very good. 3-game, what the hell? Yeah, that is true. The front three gave especially Devon Diablo a lot of room for error in this game, which basically means he could kind of just do his thing. 1-3 straight after losing 6 in a row. I think that's right. 3 out of their last 5, my bad. Youngins were encouraging as well. Yeah, I like the rookies in this defense. They played well. Other than that, for the Cardinals, I don't have too much to talk about, but bro, like, they're so bad. If you lose 12 out of 13 games, guys, you're just a bad team. Campbell, also oldest player with a field goal block and a extra point block in the same season. Good for him. Y'all definitely tanked. Yeah, this game, bro. What are you doing? Like, why did you guys do this? Because of the Rams? Like, bro, like, why did you have to lose this game? Also, Elijah Higgins, career day. Yeah, he got open, which I was kind of surprised by. Michael Carter is, again, in the big 2-5. Like, what are we doing, guys? Like, he's not he's not even an NFL running back. What are we doing? This defense is trash, but yeah, at least they cooked like, they looked like they're trying. My bad. Yeah, not cooked. I'm a little bit illiterate with my handwriting. But anyway, yeah, this game was a game.
Our CBS doubleheader rolls on from Houston, where Texans fans are feeling good these days. Houston has won 6 in a row, and behind C.J. Stroud. Gino is intercepted. It's Derek Stingley on the return. Stingley with a touchdown. Second down and 7. Geno Smith has some time. Taking a shot down the field for Besh. Separation in the catch. Besh inside the 25. Third down and 6. Geno to the end zone, and it is caught by Bowers for a touchdown. Third and 6. Genty down the field. He's open. He's got it at the 30. Genty, stiff arm, stays on his feet. Touchdown. What a play by the rookie. Chubb picks up the first down. And still going. Nick Chubb into Las Vegas territory. Stroud to the air, throwing, touchdown. Dalton Schultz. Trying to break it to the outside, he does. Ashton Genty still going. What a run. Genty, his second touchdown today. The throw, taking a deep shot again for Collins. Adjustment, was it inbounds? Yes. Collins delivers.
Die. You try to score, you're going down.
Texans being Bills copycats made this game way too close as they more or less give themselves a really good shot to get in the playoffs. They won their 7th straight game to get to the 7th seed. They still have a shot to win this division, guys. If the Jags fall to Indy next week and they win in against the Chargers, they will have, I think, the tiebreaker or something like that. They're probably not winning this division, guys. They will be on the playoffs on the road for the first time in a while. But I would not be surprised if they pull something here. But anyway, Texans 23-21 over the Raiders. Big time game on Saturday for them. Raiders fall 2-13. I already talked about it with the Giants. They have the biggest game of their franchise's history on Sunday. But anyway, for the Raiders, takeaways after them. They almost won. I was like, whoa on that because I don't know what you're trying to do there. But I mean, again, you did it last year to take your season. So I mean, your draft pick. So again, do your thing with that. Geno actually did something. Yeah, he did take an NFL quarterback in this game. First time all season. First time for everything, I guess. Good to see Genty doing something good. Yeah, he had almost 190 total yards. That's pretty freaking good. Worst since 2014. Longest losing streak since then as well. I think they went like 9 straight games. Oh yeah, that 2014 team was terrible. Great intensity from defense. Yeah, they were out there making plays. I'll say that. Much more, probably not. But, do your thing, I guess. All right, for the Texans, what I saw from them, let's first talk about how Stroud was nails late. Great Collins catch as well. Yeah, that was an amazing play, bro. That was the game right there. Went out. Yeah, if they win out, it'll tie their 9-game winning streak from 2018. Right now they've won 7 straight. Stingley, first pick 6 of his career. Entire secondary wasn't locked in though. Yeah, it was not the greatest performance by this defense, which was kind of surprising. Edge rushers weren't as good as expected. Again, I wasn't expecting them to be awesome in this game. Actually, this Texans defense, but they were a lot worse than what I was even expecting there. Horrible deep zone awareness. Yeah, from the linebackers or whoever was. Doing what they were supposed to do there in the star role, the secondary. Yeah, that was probably a little bit more of the frustrating things I saw. But honestly, guys, who cares? Texans still won.
We welcome you to the national doubleheader game from the Motor City. The Steelers and the Lions are both 8-6, and they both need this one. 50, just superb. From 59, Boswell. I'll go see. He is outstanding. They fake it to him. Goff looking, needs some help, running out of time, and real estate throws, and it's incomplete. Porter again. The 20. Lions go to the end zone, and caught. What a catch! Tesla. Fake, throw. He's got Washington. Oh, they tried to strip the ball out of his hand. Goff picks it up, in trouble. He's sacked for the safety. Duggar delivers the 2-point play. Rodgers plants and throws. The heat down the sideline. Oh, my goodness. Toss to Warren. Found a little opening, and away he goes. Jalen Warren with... Raymond, 10-5. Touchdown, Lions. Huge play. Warren. Corey ripped off one long run. He's got another one. No one's going to get to him. Over to Gibbs. He's wide open. Easy touchdown. Lions are in. Coons will snap it back. And the kick by Boswell. Oh, no.
What do I even say, guys? This game was absolutely nuts as the Steelers, again, being carried off of explosive plays, are able to head into Detroit and upset them to have their 22nd straight season of a 500 or better record. 18th straight under Mike Tomlin as they are now 9-6. They With a win on Sunday versus Cleveland or a loss by the Ravens in Green Bay on Saturday night, will clinch the AFC North and will be hosting a playoff game for the first time since 2020, which would be pretty insane. Their actual chances of finally breaking that streak of not winning a playoff game will still be in jeopardy, in my opinion, just because this team isn't that good. But at the same time, they win a wildcard game, guys. Who really cares? Aaron Rodgers will retire. He'll be happy. But next week, playing in Cleveland, we'll see what happens. I really hope that Myles Garrett breaks the sack record next week. That would be awesome. Lions, though, this is about as brutal a loss they could have. First time they've lost back-to-back games since 2022. They're now 8-7. And need the Packers to lose out, which isn't entirely unrealistic, and they need to win out to get in. But at the same time, they're heading to Minnesota and then heading to Chicago in the year. So realistically, if you're a Lions fan, you're just trying to ruffle some feathers there. But anyway, for the Steelers and what I saw from them, it's their first time all year. This is the first year they can finally win a playoff game. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, bro, he's good enough to do it. That's what I'll say, again, at least from what I saw the past couple weeks. First time ever with 3+ 40-yard touchdowns in the same game. Also, it should have been 4 because MVS dropped what was an absolute beauty of a ball from Aaron Rodgers there. Again, that's just frustrating to watch there because it was an absolute bomb. Also, all 3 of their touchdowns were 45 yards exactly, so, I mean, cool. Again, obviously the insane catch by Kenneth Gainwell. Had no idea how he caught that, as well as, again, Jalen Warren breaking off 2 touchdowns. We'll talk about the run game in a second. 18th, yeah, I talked about that. DK's an absolute idiot. Like, what are you doing? Also, how is Kenneth Gainwell your leading pass catcher this season? That's just so bizarre. But again, I guess that's the truth. Adam Thielen came over here. Like, what the heck? Yeah, it's crazy catch with that. A-Rod's their best quarterback since Big Ben in 2018. The reason I say that is because Big Ben that year was insanely productive despite him throwing, like, leading the league in interceptions or something like that. But, like, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is their best quarterback since then for sure. Jalen Warren run game was a fluke. I'd be shocked if they do anything close to this again this season. But, yeah, great to see, again, explosive runs. Again, that isn't exactly the most sustainable way to run the ball. They had 230 rushing yards and 481 yards of offense. Absolutely crazy. But guys, let's be honest. We're not gonna see a game like this from the Steelers probably, at least running the game the rest of the season by any means. Because like that was insane, especially the explosive. It's just not sustainable. But good to see them do that. Yeah, they got off the field and closed out the game for this defense. Again, they didn't have a great game, but they did what they were supposed to. Again, especially with the Jalen Ramsey performance in this one. Good acting there. All right, for the Lions, brutal way to lose, but yeah, don't give up 500 yards. If you're this Lions team right now, you're just saying, Mark, well, how did our season end last year? Your defense sucked, even though they were brutally injured. This year, kind of the same thing, except the fact you weren't as, you're still pretty injured. But still, you guys' defense has to be better there. It was all on Goff for this offense. They only ran the ball 11 times. Yeah, that's kind of brutal. Again, you're not going to win many games when that happens. Again, it wasn't like they were controlling clock either, considering they got outperformed in that aspect. But anyway, Gibbs was awesome out of the backfield. Amazing route variety. That's what I'll say there. I really liked what I saw from that. Linebackers couldn't tackle. Worst game since the divisional round last year. Yeah, that is fair to say. That was definitely not the greatest thing we've seen. First back-to-back losses. Already talked about that. Aiden Hutchinson, only guy with pressure. He had 2 sacks. He had, I think 8 pressures. 1 for 4 in the red zone. Did them in. Yeah, that was brutal. Yeah, in the end zone, bro. Again, obviously the last drive was tough, but you get the point. I'd be shocked if they somehow get in the playoffs too. I mean, you never really know, but especially, I mean, honestly, they probably have better shot than the Ravens, considering how they're choking games now. Let's get to that Ravens game now.
The first night of winter in Baltimore, Maryland. 33 degrees at M&T Bank Stadium, home of the 2-time Super Bowl. Henry. Opening touchdown. Dropping back, May about to get hit. Escapes, keeps it alive. Fires, intercepted. Marlon Humphrey dropping back in.
Sit there and watch it too.
Henry, 2 tackles in the open field. Lost the football. And the Patriots have it. In the backfield. Play pass. May hops it over the head. Waiting is Henry. Touchdown, New England. Ball. Pressure from the Ravens. May in trouble. Lost the ball. Ball came out. Recovered by Draymond Jones. It's for the lead. Got it down. Short. Here comes the pressure. It's picked up. Sideline Hopkins. Did he bring it in? No. Ruled out of bounds. In the hand of Flowers. Got a couple of blockers. Can he get to him? He does. And there he goes. Flowers. Goal line. In for the touchdown. Mapu. In trouble. Lost the football too. Guard blocks left. Henry runs left. Touchdown Ravens. In the lineup. May taking a deep shot. Downfield. Perfect. Williams. He brought it in. That's a touchdown. Dropping coverage, made throws, caught this time by Diggs down the sideline. Vincent bouncing outside from Andre Stevenson with a block by Williams to the end zone. The Patriots take the lead. If the Ravens don't rally, Huntley looking, Flowers. Chase down, knocked out. Patriots recover.
And the final game you guys saw on Sunday was a big-time fourth-quarter comeback for the Patriots. I already talked about 20-3. I'm not getting into that. But that was their first time they were able to do what they did in this game. Since then, as they knocked off the Ravens 20-24 to give them a very, very good shot at winning the division, as well as getting the #1 seed. Because if they win out and the Broncos just follow the Chargers in Week 18, it is all theirs to take. But obviously, again, them being at home in the playoffs isn't really as concerning as some people think it will be. But anyway, next week they'll be hosting the Jets in a very, very mismatched game. But yeah, they earned it for sure. And then they got the Dolphins in Week 18 at home as well. No, they're on the road next week. Whatever. Ravens though will be heading to Green Bay next Saturday for probably a game they will be eliminated in, if I had to guess. But who knows? Because Malik Willis will probably start that game. They're 7-8 though. Their season's been marred by disappointment, and they continue in this game as they blew that big lead. They did not let Derrick Henry see the field in the final 12 minutes of the game. But no, again, nonetheless, this team is not very good for the Patriots though. Drake's not MVP. Stafford did the same thing in worse weather. Yeah, worse weather in Seattle. With a crap ton of more yards. He had nearly 100 more passing yards than Drake May did. And against the top 3 defense as well. Ravens defense has not been even close to this year. They have been pretty good the second half of the season, but they have had points this season where they've been absolutely probably the worst in Ravens history. So just keep that in mind. Also, Ravens most home losses in their franchise's history this season. Kind of tells you where they're at. But Drake May, 300 yards, hell of a game. First time he's ever thrown for over 300 yards. Keep that in mind, but he is not the MVP. If he wins MVP, I will be protesting, and it will not be a good scene. All right. Most wins since 2019. Yeah, they were 12-4 that year. They're probably well surpassed it this year. First playoff berth since 2021. But again, by the end of the season, they could have 16 wins. Considering again, if they are a wild card team, they would wild card if they play in the if they're in the wild card and they win that game and they win the divisional round and they get to the AFC Championship, which I think is realistic expectation for the Patriots. They'd have 16 total wins this season again, assuming they win out, which would give them the same amount of wins that they have had from 2022 through 2024. Absolutely crazy with that. But Stevenson clutched up when he called on you. He had a big-time game. But other things to talk about, that Diggs and Hollins made a ton of huge plays. More of Stephon Diggs because he had 138 yards. But still, big-time performance from him on Sunday night. And also, don't forget about Mac Hollins. Biggest fourth-quarter comeback. I already talked about that. Kyle Williams' touchdown was a beauty. O-line injuries are important to watch because they're not doing much. Also, Kayvon Chase-Young coming out of nowhere. Again, this is unforeseen is really just the best way to put it. But other than that, that's all I got for the Patriots. For the Ravens now, not a ton to talk about. But again, other than we talk about the media criticism of Derrick Henry not playing, that is very, very warranted. Why the hell are they... Oh, that's 4th and 7. Never mind. But as you guys can see, that was very warranted. Most frustrating team in a while will probably be eliminated on Saturday. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. Zay Flowers needs help, but again, at the same time, he's got to stop going to the bakery, holding the ball like a loaf of bread. Humphrey play needs to be explained. Again, the way I thought of it was he's tackling him. He's letting him catch the ball because he doesn't want him to get more yards. No, there's no way. That was freaking pass interference. All right. Tez Walker had a sack. Yeah, that was a very bizarre play on that play again. Forced a fumble on it too. Why didn't they run a draw with Huntley on the first play of the drive? Again, it was a perfect look for that. Again, you can look at the formation and what the defense was lined up in. It was the perfect play for it. But anyway, Ravens blow another game. Patriots are really rolling now, and they're going to probably finish the season with 14 wins. That's all I have for you guys here. I'll see you all for the Monday Night Football recap sometime in the next 24 hours. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed all the games from Sunday, and that's all I got here.
Only rush 3. Intercepted. They confused him. Xavier Brown headed the other way. Touchdown.